This is blending. This isn't focus stacking. Or is it? I could have called this video focus stacking, but it's not entirely true with this. What I did was I went through the procedures of focus stacking when I shot the image, focused in the foreground and then focused in the background. I took into consideration the lens breathing. I loaded them up in Photoshop, I stacked them in Photoshop, and then I cropped them and saved the image out. I wanted to see how a blend would work in Luminar, and that's what I'm going to show you today in this video. Also from the point of view that when you create a new stamped layer, once you've taken all your edits into consideration and made them, for this video I'm sitting with 3 layers, then I created an image stamped layer, and from that point on the edit takes place to get to where I finally want to be. So hopefully you look at it as an editing process. If you're anything like me, I want to see what the software can do. I just don't want to go, it can't do this and it can't do that, so I'm not using it. I want to see what it can do. I want to learn what it can do. I want to find out where its boundaries are. And with a little consideration and a little extra time taken, it worked. And that for me I'm quite happy with. I'm sure that skylum will add focus stacking in the future, but for now what they've given us and what we have is to be honest, I think it's an incredible piece of software. I'm really enjoying it, and I know there's other software out there. This is something as an image editor that I can use within my workflow, and that's why I like it so much. These images that you'll see, and I'll take you through the entire process, as I've said, that's what I did when I did this. I didn't look for faults, I looked to see what the software can actually do. And that for me, that's the learning curve with everything. You see what it can do, you can see how you can use it in your workflow. So coming from an image editor's point of view, a landscape photographer and an image editor's point of view, and I know that I still haven't found everything that it can do. So for me, this was a positive process. I wanted to see how Luminar would handle this. Okay, so that's us now in Luminar, and what I am going to do is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new image layer. And the image layer I'm going to add is the buccal stack, and this is the image layer where the actual mountains in the background are in focus. Okay, that's the new layer, and to blend the two of these together, what I'm going to have to do is I am going to use the edit mask, and in this case I am going to use the brush to do it. So with the eraser, I'm just going to erase away here, and you can actually see that happening as I do it. This will be rather a quick edit for this one, so I'm looking to sharpen up all this area here, because my first shot was focused on the buccal etif mor in the background. My second shot was focused down here in this piece of ice. Right, so I'll run through this as quick as I can for the purposes of this video. And I'll take that in there, and I'll just check my mask by clicking the mask button. Missed a bit there, missed a bit there. Turn that off. I'm going to zoom in, Command and plus, Command and minus. I can see that that's sharp there. Let's check the background. And we can see that that's sharp there. We'll get rid of this car in a second. And what I'll do is I will check that. So what I'm going to do, they're just beyond the field of focus for this, so I'm going to paint them back in. Just there. And when you're doing this, take your time. I'm just going to fly through this for the purposes of this video. I'll then go on and edit it properly for the rest of this. So you can see now and again where I'm making a mistake, it's going onto the water. If you just press X on the keyboard, it swaps it back to erase. So I can paint that back in. And just there, I noticed it there. And I'll go over here as well, X, because I want to paint back in the sharpness. And you'll see as I'm painting through this that everything is retaining the original sharpness from the photograph that was taken. So what I'll do is I'll quickly head back through this and I'll speed up this edit for you. Okay, now that that's done, what I'm going to do is remove this car here. So first of all, I'm going to turn off the mask. That's me, I'm quite happy with that at the moment. Then I am going to go in to the canvas and I'm going to click erase. I'm going to zoom into where the car is. I'm going to paint through the car and I'm going to hit the return key. Now that that's gone, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go back into layers and I'm going to create a new stamped layer, which is all those underlying layers, including the erase layer, stamped together into one layer, flattened. Okay, now that we've got the stamped layer, what I'm going to do is edit it as if that was the original image that was taken. First things first, go into light. I'm going to push the smart contrast slightly. Yep. I've got no highlights blown out, so I am going to go straight into AI Enhance, which I quite like. The Sky Enhancer, I'll just push that to see what it does. Yep, quite like that. The structure. Probably around there. Next thing I'm going to go into is the colour. I'm going to pull back some of these blues. Saturation ever so slightly. And the luminance just to around there. Helps with the moodiness of the sky. Although this was shot on a really good day. Landscape Enhancer. I'm going to dehaze ever so slightly. That's just enough. Details Enhancer, I'm going to push just to around there. It's just to bring a slight punch again to the image. That again I'm quite happy with. Close that. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get into the looks and I'm going to add Camden. It's one of my favourite ones. I'm going to add Camden to this. So if I go in, add a new adjustment layer, and in this adjustment layer I'm going to add Camden and you'll see the image change. That for me is too much for this image, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back Camden to around 50%. Then I am going to edit the mask using the brush and I'm going to bring back in the sky that I originally had. Increase the brush size. And then just paint in here to remove the Camden effect from the sky. And I'm also going to paint over this initial first rock and you'll see the orange beginning to show through, even more so than it does. The reason I quite like the Camden look is because of the steely blue that it gives to the water. So I'm just going to paint in there, in there, in there. And I'm going to leave it at that for the purposes of this video. So I'm going to click done and I'm going to show you the before and the after. So that's the original image we brought in, which the main focus of this was in the ice in the foreground. We then brought in an image adjustment layer with its main focus being here on the background, and we blended the two together using a variety of tools. Hopefully you got something from that, and hopefully it lets you see what the software can do, how to use the masks, how to use the stamp layer, and how to get your final result. There'll be certain aspects of all different softwares that you'll use. You'll drop in, as I say, I use Luminar as a plugin. I'll put stuff together in Photoshop, or should I say I'll create things in Photoshop, and then I'll go into Luminar to get my final edits. Because I've found that suits me, as I've said in previous videos, that suits my workflow fine. I have seen me jumping out of there and jumping into another image editor totally to get one small part of that image editor. So I know I can do that quickly and back in. I love exploring software. I really, really do love exploring software just to see what it can do. So hopefully you've saw something in this and it's not been a negative. Everything for me, to be honest, is a positive. It's all a learning curve. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Big thumbs up if you did. Check out the rest of the videos below. If you're not currently a subscriber, please think about subscribing. And thanks again for watching.